Be back with you in 1 second. We're almost over to YouTube. There we go. Welcome on YouTube. Welcome on Zoom. Let's get this started. This is our stop share. My screen already stopped. Did you guys already stop sharing my screen?
No, it's just showing the logo right now. So it's not sharing your slides or anything.
Okay. Was there a slide that said starting at 9 o'clock?
There was for a while, yep.
Okay, cool. All right. Let me blur this out. I'm going to talk for a minute and we're going to blow through some good stuff here. This is stuff that's going to change people's lives. This is what we're going to go through today. I'm going to be as brief as possible while being as complete as possible, and then we rock and roll. 1990, I'm in a meeting, 91, I should say. I'm in a meeting where I learn about a business opportunity that I could market a product, a consumer product, and I could build a team of people who market a product. And I'm working at General Motors every day. I'm there from 6 a.m. to 2:30 every day. And that's my schedule. 6 to 4:30 then for 4 days. That's my schedule, but I want out. I want out. I want to have unlimited income. I love General Motors. My brothers and sisters still work at General Motors. My dad worked at General Motors. We always had a good lifestyle. It allowed my mom to be a stay-at-home mom until we were all grown and going into high school. And then she went out and started working. And so it was Generous Motors, we called it. Very good to us. Always had good car programs but I'm working at General Motors. I'm the youngest of four kids. And I'm like, I want to be an entrepreneur, though. I've always wanted flexibility. I don't like this cubicle. I don't like having to go here every day. I don't like having to, I love the talk show in the morning and I love once I'm on my way to work. But man, I want to be able to go sailing on Tuesday, or I want to go water skiing on Wednesday, or I'm not lazy. I'll work my butt off. But I want to have my schedule be my schedule. I want flexibility. Today, flexibility is a lot more valued than it was in 1991. It was almost irresponsible to want flexibility back then. But business owners had it. Business owners had figured it out. They found a way to not just be self-employed and earn money and have to work their tail off all the time to recreate money every month, basically commission salespeople. Business owners had found a way to build a company that would pay them money, a cash cow, even if they weren't the run managing it. What? Even if they weren't the one there every day working on it. What? Isn't that a dream? Wouldn't that be great to have a business to a point where it's actually making you a lot more money than you need each month and each year, even if you don't go there every day? What? Yes, that's what I wanted. And I was looking for things to do. I was looking at franchises to buy, and I was looking at buying homes. And I live in Michigan. I was in Detroit area. I was looking at buying homes in Detroit to start rental properties. And I looked at a bunch of them with some friends. I mean, I was looking for all kinds of things. And back in 1991, they didn't have internet, so they had newspaper ads, classified ads. And I went to a meeting about starting your own business. And I'm shortcutting through some of the stuff here for sake of your time. But I sat in this meeting, and people I knew from high school were the actually ones speaking in front of the room, but they were making great money. So I knew it worked because they were doing this business and they were making great money. And I said, if they can do this, I can do this. And you should be saying that too. You should be saying that too. If anyone's made $1 million a year in this industry, you should be able to make it too. If anyone's made 100 grand a year, you should be able to make it too. And that's what I believe. So I was sitting there and I'm like, if he's making 10 grand a month, and at the time at GM, I was making 3,000 a month. And he's making 3 times what I'm making. He didn't go to college. He works about 30 hours a week. He's having fun. And I'm going to a place I don't like. He's making 3 times what I'm making. He's driving a nicer car, has a nicer home, has nicer clothes, he's talking about what he's doing all the time, flexible wise. And I'm going to work, 40, 50 hours a week trying to climb the company ladder. And so after I saw the presentation, I said, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I don't know if I can do this or not, but I'm liking it. But then they had a meeting after the meeting. So they said, if you're serious about if what you saw, what you just saw, you know, speaks highly to you. If you're a three, remember the 1, 2, or 3 types of people? They had that too. If you're the third type of person, you want to get after this, I'm going to ask you, are you serious? Because if you're serious, I know it's already late. It was like 9 o'clock at night. I know it's already late, but we're going to have another meeting in the conference room for those who are really serious, the meeting after the meeting. And we're going to have a meeting there. And if you want to come into that meeting, we're going to show you a plan to get to $10,000 a month because that's where I met the guy in front of the room. And I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I want to be able to make that kind of money. I don't want to just do this. I'm looking for a way out of General Motors, not a way to just supplement what I'm making at GM. And so I went to the meeting after the meeting. And all the meeting after the meeting did was show a game plan to make 10 grand a month that I believed. That's all it did, that I believed. It's all it did. And I believed it. And it wasn't a tough plan, but what it did is it helped me to believe that I could do it. So I did it. That's it. That's simple. And it wasn't an impossible plan. It was a doable plan because I did it. It wasn't an impossible plan because other people did it too. It was a doable plan. The downside is 90% of the people didn't do it. Not because it was impossible, because they didn't want to do it. They didn't have a strong enough reason why. They weren't hungry enough for it, or they weren't willing to jump outside their zone of comfort and talk to people about stuff. Talk to people about a product they believed in. Talk to people about an opportunity to start a part-time business. They weren't willing to do it. So they never were able to become an entrepreneur because you can't be an entrepreneur without talking to people about your product or service. And your talking can be viral reels, it can be, videos, it can be text, it can be calls, it can be back then it was one thing. Phone call, there was no email even, phone call or live door knock. That's all there was. There was no other such thing. So we had one choice, have conversations with people. Most people didn't want to do that. I was willing to if I believed in something. And so my thought is this, the meeting after the meeting is what turned me on and set me free. Before the end of that year, I was resigning from General Motors. I've never had to have a corporate job since. Any corporate job I've had now, I own the company. And so it's to offer opportunities to people in a way that I think is better than all the opportunities that exist. If someone was already doing what I was doing and I believe they wouldn't change things, I would join their company. But it didn't exist. So I started DAC. Why did I start DAC as we go into the meeting after the meeting? I wanted you to be able to make a full-time income if you never built a team. Why? I know some people don't like the idea of building a team. So I wanted to start an income opportunity where not by selling 7,000 people a protein shake, but by getting one funding customer a month. You can, just like a mortgage company, you get one or two mortgages a month, you can make a full-time living. You get one or two business fundings a month, you can make a full-time living. So I wanted to start a way that you didn't have to be licensed so that we wouldn't have that restriction, where you didn't have to invest money, where you wouldn't have that restriction, and where you can make full-time money whether you ever built a team or not. That's where business funding started. So that answered that check mark. The next check mark I said was, I want you to be able to not have to get clients every month. I want you to be able to get to the point where if you have a team doing it, remember business ownership is having a system that you're earning on, even if you're no longer working it hard. Otherwise, you're self-employed only. So I wanted you to be able to move into the business owner quadrant, which means you got to be able to have a team that you can earn on so that if you have a bad month and they have a great month, you still make a great living, just like a real estate broker. A real estate broker gets paid every single month on every home sold in their brokerage, even if they don't sell a home. Why not have that same type model for you? That's what DAC offers. So we have it covered with you can make great money without ever building a team. Or if you want to build a team, you don't have to have a massive team. You can have a small team of productive people, and you can make full-time money by having a team of one level, just people you personally enrolled who get funding. We check that box. And then we said, you know what? This is hard. The reason 95% of the people never sell a home who've got a real estate license, it's not easy. And it's not as easy as they thought. So they decide I'll do something else. Why 95% of the people who are mortgage agents never get a mortgage customer? Because it's not easy and they can call, one of the online stores, right? So it's not easy. And there's a lot of competition. Business funding, there's no one doing what we're doing in your town. The banks aren't doing it. You go in and meet the managers of the banks, they love to have you because they got to say no to their customers. And they'd rather not say no. They'd rather say not us, but maybe you need to talk to David Allen Capital. The president of our local bank has referred me clients, and I've referred them clients who are bankable and want bank rates and want a 7-year loan and are willing to put up their house. I'll refer them to the president of the local bank. And that president of the local bank, every time they get a business loan that they can't approve, they call David Rutz. He calls me personally. I got a client. We reach out to him. He doesn't want to say no. So we are helping people, right? So these are why DAC exists. So that's why I started the company. If there was already a way to do this, I wouldn't have had to start the company. I would have become a rep in that company and not had to do any of the management stuff and just built a team and got the customers, right? But as it stands, it didn't exist. Bank Breezy didn't exist. We built it. One Stop Best Offer didn't exist unless you went out and called every single lender and tried to get a relationship. And we're willing to talk to all of them and apply to all of them. They didn't want your business because if you don't send the package to us if you're not going to take the offer we get you, right? So we found a way around that with our Bank Breezy platform. So we've got a One Stop Best Offer approach. That makes sense. Check that box. But you know what? All along, I built a business worth tens of millions of dollars in the 90s, a telecom business. And Sprint had offered to buy us, an MCI. We didn't sell to them. Excuse me. Excuse me. We did offer, we didn't sell to them, but they offered to buy us. And why? Because we had a little $20 residual, I'm sorry, $20 phone bill, long distance phone bill, that we could beat AT&T and MCI and Sprint. And we only charged a tenth of a penny less. But yet we put on hundreds of thousands of customers, hundreds of thousands of reps in the same type model you're looking at. And we had all kinds of, and we had reps making 10, 15, 20, 30, $40,000 a month on a $20 phone bill. And I look back and I say, you know what? We've got the big now money, but we don't have the long-term residual. We don't have a way for you to make 40,000 a month residually in funding. And yet we had it with a little $20 long distance phone bill. And people would get to the point where making 30,000 a month, whether they got a new customer or not, they're making it every single month. Now, long distance went away, but don't worry, we didn't shut that company down. We merged it in with a nutrition company, later changed their name to Visalis. And Visalis then went globally. And then they later merged that company into another company called Prove It, who's still around today and still does hundreds of millions of dollars. But it all started with a little $20 phone bill. So why do I tell you all this? Because inside of me, I want to build that residual income for you too. You may not want it. You may not have any interest, but I know this. Some of you are going to grab a hold of that little $20 pharmacy membership and go, holy cow. By the way, when I said we had people making 40 grand a month residually, we were only paying out about $2.75 a month from a customer total for them and their upline and their team. Here we're paying out $9. $9. Actually about 9.30, about 4 times as much. So you can have 1/4 the customers and still make more money. And our pay plan's better here. So I want to look back 2 years from now and have 50 RVPs with 4 or 5 RVPs in their team. So they're making $250,000 a month and their teammates are each making 100 grand a year. And you got a team of 7 or 8 people all making 10 grand a month or more. That's what I want. I want you to be able to have a team like that. You can't do that with funding alone because just like you can't do that in the mortgage business or the real estate business because you can't guarantee that you're going to do 100 fundings this month. It doesn't matter if you have a team of 1,000. You may do 100 fundings with only a team of 100, but you may only do 100 fundings with a team of 10,000. It depends on the month. And I don't want your income to be at risk like that. So we need to come along and strengthen it with a team of personal customer consumer products or business services like payment processing. So what we've done is we launched our residual plan. It was just last year. We had just our funding plan. We launched our residual plan last year. We just launched this pharmacy plan. It's been in beta mode. It's now ready to go to market with in a major way. Beta mode for us means we had to build our websites and our tools. We partner with a pharmacy that already had this. They already have this. We branded as DAC Flat Fee RX. They do all the fulfillment. They're the licensed pharmacy. They take care of all the medication for us. We've been to the facilities. It's spectacular. So we've got a contract. We get to keep charging this price. We get to keep earning what we're earning. They can't change that on us. And away we go. In fact, I think it'll get lower price over time instead of higher price. But we want to put on 2-3 million families on this pharmacy membership, and then 5-6 million, and then 10-12 million. So what I'm about to show you is the meeting after the meeting that we did in that that I learned in my first meeting that got me out of General Motors. And then Then we taught in my company called the Free Network, my little phone company, the little phone company with you can get people who get people who get people. And a year and a half later, Sprint's offering us $12 million. That little phone company with people who get people who get people. And you know what? Anyone who can see Netflix went viral. Flat fee RX is going to go viral. Who's going to make the word known? Who's going to bring the model to market? It's not CVS. They make too much money on pharmaceutical. They can get a pharmaceutical medication where the bottle costs more than the drug and charge you $32 for it, and they're paying 32 cents for all 30 pills total, a penny a pill, and they're charging you 32 bucks, and they're okay with it because they got to pay for their lights and their pharmacist. We can put it into a package where our package, the shipping costs more than the medication inside, not because drug companies are gouging people. That's a myth. Because CVS is gouging you, because Walgreens is gouging you, because Costco is gouging you, because every pharmacy that you walk into is gouging you. It is not the drug companies. Maybe if it's a brand new drug, they got to pay for all the research and development. They got to pay for the millions of whatever they had to do to get the FDA to approve them. They got to pay all that back. But once they got that paid back, there doesn't cost much to make that little pill. And they don't charge that much. How do I know? Because we can charge 20 bucks and give you all your medication free and pay out $9, and shipping costs money, and they're only charging $19.95. That's how you know. So like our pharmacist said, we're spending more on shipping than the medication in the box. Come on. How can they give us enough money to pay out 9 out of 20 and pay for shipping? So we got to get the word out. This is ridiculous. This is criminal. I don't need politicians saying we're bringing drug prices down. They're already down. Your drug your drug farm, your healthcare companies are gouging people, pretending they're expensive. I'm not talking about the patented ones that just came out. I'm talking about all my lisinopril and my cholesterol and my blood pressure and my whatever the drugs are. Those cost nothing. So we got to get the word out about this. This is all about team building. Why? Because the same reason I tell you the story up front about why DAC started to make full-time money in case you never want to build a team, because that was an objection I had to deal with. I've been in home-based business network marketing since 91 full-time. So the objection is I don't want to build a team. You don't have to here. I don't want to invest money. Do you have to here? No. I don't like earning money as my friends get started in a business. If they don't make money, I don't like making money on their investment. I know, nor do I. Nobody does except greedy people. So we don't have the ability to make money on people when they get started. We only have the ability to make money when you help them get paid. Help them make $1. Do you mind making a quarter if they make $1? No. Do you mind making 50 cents if they make $1? If you're producing and being a good example for them, no, we don't cut their pay to pay you that 50 cents. And they're not even coming up with the dollar or the 50 cents. The customer is. And we're saving the customer money because we've taken all our marketing budget and put it into commissions to you. So this model flat out works, and it survives ups and downs in economies, because when things are rough, people start trying to pick up extra money. We're free. They can afford ours. They don't have to cut their auto ship of their nutrition or their auto ship of their membership model or whatever it is. They don't have to do any of that. We're saving them money, or they don't join us. If we can't help someone out, we flat out refuse to do business. But why do I share all this? Because I'm about to show the game plan to go make it happen. But if you don't believe everything I just said, guess what? How many people you recruit? 0. Guess how many funding customers you'll talk to? 0. How many pharmaceutical customers? 0. You'll buy the BS that CVS should charge $34 for that drug. They need to. That way they don't have to sell Snickers. Long and short of it is, your customers deserve to save the money. So I got a bunch of stuff on the whiteboard here that you haven't seen yet. I'm going to go through it pretty quick. But if you want the success of this business, this is who this meeting's for. This is not for someone who's like, I'd like to make an extra $100 a month. What I'm going to go through right now, this is going to be like wildfire at you. You're going to feel like a fire hose is coming. This is not intended. This is for the people who want to be on RVP. They want to be an RVP. They want to make 100 grand a year minimum in this company. That's who this meeting's for, that you're about to see. So if that's not you, we've already got trainings in our office. You can go look at the back office. But if you want to be an RVP in 24 or the first part of 2025, then grab a notepad, because that's what we're here to show you how to do. And it's not difficult at all. It's simple, but it's not easy. But it doesn't take a math degree, doesn't take a finance degree, it doesn't take a nursing degree, doesn't take a pharmaceutical degree, it doesn't take a payment processing visa degree, it doesn't take a health insurance license, it doesn't take anything except belief and willingness to work. We honor God in everything we do, and that includes our work ethic. So if you're ready to honor God in everything you do with integrity, market our products, integrity, talk about our business, and integrity with your work ethic, then you're in the right place. And we're going to show you some cool stuff, and we're going to have a little fun. The meeting after the meeting to set you free. That's the only reason I do DAC, to set entrepreneurs free. Of course, it's helping our customers, but you know what? I love our health share. But if a soupty doopty doopty service comes around in 5 years that no one's ever heard of, like our pharmacy membership, we're jumping on board and we're riding that horse. So we're not a healthcare company, but we'll market it if it's got disruptive. If it's going to save your average family 60% on their premiums, we're in. Does it really cover everything? We're in. How do I know? I use the service. You got to know it. You got to love it. You got to believe in it before you can share it. So meeting after the meeting, here we go. Let me turn off the share or the blur. Maybe I should put my glasses on. There we go. All right. I'm going to show you a couple things. What do we got over there? Okay. All right. Goal RVP. Beautiful. It's over here. All right. We're going to show you a couple things. I'm going to go through this quick. Number one, we're going to talk about the goal of this meeting. And our goal is to help you get to RVP or higher. It may not be your goal, but that's what this plan's for. Again, if this isn't your goal, you shouldn't be here. Your RVP or higher, that means your group's doing 100,000 in residual revenue or more, and you're making no less than 100 grand a year. All right. So this is what we're here for, the serious builders. We're going to show you how to do it, a real simple approach and how to do it. Then we're going to show you the 5-step approach for building the business. Okay. So goal, how, approach. Before I do, real quickly, when you get started, our opportunity allows personal income by getting personal customers. The more personal customers you get, you move up the ladder from 20 to 30 to 40 to 50% income. All right. You move up the ladder from 4% of funding to 6% to 7 to 8. How? By getting more customers. You need to know that your performance determines whether you're making 20% all the way up to 50 or 4% all the way up to 8% of funding. Your performance determines that, not me, nothing else. You produce and get more customers, you get to 2,000 residual revenue, you're at the 50% level on all 2,000. You'll be making $1,000 a month just on that. And then you keep going, go to 3,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, 10,000. You're making 50%. We're making about 10%. You're making 5 times us on your thing. All right. Now, funding, you're making 4 to 8%. It's actually 40 to 80% of the bonus revenue. Bonus revenue is generally 10% of the funding amount, thus the 4 to 8%. It can be lower. Sometimes bonus revenue is lower, and this may only be 3%, depending upon the reducings. We've got select funding now, which the average funding is $250,000. That is a half commission. You're only going to make 2 to 4% generally, but you're doing it on $250,000. So, 2% of $250,000 is $5,000. Not bad. Giving them the best pricing in the industry. So this is your personal. This is part 1. All right. So that's up to you and only you, you and only you, you and only you. I don't want you here or here. I want you here and here. You have to want it though. You have to do it. You get to do it by performing. All right. That's part 1. Part 2. As you grow through our pay plan, keep in mind, you get enroller bonuses. If you introduce new people, you make enroller bonuses. Enroller bonuses for 90 days, you automatically get it. After that, you have to have 200 residual revenue minimum. You don't get enroller bonuses if you don't have 200 residual revenue. So you got 90 days to get to 200 residual revenue. It's personal customers, personal residual revenue. You have 90 days to get to 200. All right. So what are you going to do? You're going to do that. That's what you're going to do. All right. So you got to get that qualification. Then once you're at regional trainer and 5K, you have 7 level pay. regional trainer, which 200 personal residual revenue, you already have that here, and you have 5K in your group, you have a full 7-level pay. Okay, this is all in the comp plan, but I just want to show you how this progresses so nice. All right. And again, as we showed you in the biz op meeting, if you're a qualified associate, you get 3 levels. And if you're a team trainer, you get 4 levels. I'm going to show you that in a minute. And if you're an area trainer, you get 6 levels. But once you're a regional trainer with 5,200 personal residual revenue, 5,000 in your group, you have the full 7-level pay. So these are check marks you want to check off. Check, right? And then when you're an area director, look what you get as an area director. That's 200 personal residual revenue. You see, that's all you really have to do. 200 personal and 10,000 in your group. You are an area director. You now get overrides, 30% on your whole team, your 7 levels and beyond through infinity. You get coded pay. Coded pay is here's you, here's your team. It's this massive team. Now you're coded. If you recruit anyone new personally, they're coded to you. You get another percentage of them in addition to your 7-level pay. In addition to your override, you get a coding you can never get cut out of through infinity. It's like you own this group more than we do. You get paid on all of it. So you want to get to area director and build your area director code as quick as possible. You also get a car allowance at area director. So this is the rank that you want to be shooting for. You can do it in 30 days. It's 100 people with 100 in residual revenue, and you're there, right? 100 with 100, you're at 10,000. So you could do it in 30 days, but it's going to be pushing, right? But shoot for area director as soon as you can. That way you get all these benefits: car allowance, coding pay, overrides, full 7-level pay, full enroller, or you're getting enroller bonuses because you're at the 200 personal, and climb up this ladder to earn more on your personal customers. All right. National director is when your group has grown to 50,000. You now get an expense allowance in addition to the cars. All right. Regional vice president is when you have 100. Oh, RVP gold. I don't have RVP on here, but RVP gold. When you have 500,000 in residual revenue, now you get revenue sharing of the entire company's revenue sharing. You get a percent. And SVP, when you have 2 million in group, you get equity. I don't expect you to understand this. I want you to get this. By building this company, you can earn on your personal customers. You can earn on your personally enrolled people. You can earn on 7 levels. You can earn on overrides through infinity. You can get coded pay on new people you recruit that your number goes on it, and it's coded permanently no matter what through infinity on every person they recruit, and 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 they recruit through infinity. Your code is on their name when they start, and you get 20% of everything they make forever. You get it because you got AD when you recruited them. So you want to get coding, you get a car allowance. And then when you move up the ladder, you get expense allowances. When you move up the ladder, you get revenue sharing. When you move up the ladder, you can even get equity in our company. Is General Motors never offered me equity? Apple's never offering anyone equity. You can get stock options. You still got to buy them. I'm talking about where you get a percentage of our company set aside. So that is available here. Now, there's a lot more ranks than what you're seeing here. But for the meeting after the meeting, what I want you to know is this. If you're a driven, dedicated person who doesn't let obstacles stop them, you say, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get to 2 million in my group, 2 million residual revenue in my group, and I'm getting equity in this company. And it may take me 5 years. Heck, I went 5 years to college. It may take me 5 years, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting equity, and I'm getting revenue sharing. Revenue sharing is going to average about $20,000, $25,000 a month on people you didn't even recruit. $250,000 a year because you qualified for it. Where you're getting a piece of all the revenue in the company, you get a piece. 2% of that residual revenue we put in a pool for these people to split. Expense allowances, car allowances, all these things are available here for doing one thing. One thing really well. Right here. 1, 2, 3, repeat. 1, 2, 3, repeat. Can you do this well? 1, 2, 3, repeat. Sorry about the backdrop. I'm going to move this over. 1, 2, 3, repeat. Your goal is accomplished somewhere there. Here's what you have to do. Number 1, 2, 3, repeat. This is it. This is the system, guys, to get all this. All that is gettable. Number 1, become a qualified agent. qualified associate with $50 residual revenue. It could be 5 pharmacy customers, 5 pharmacy memberships, it's $50 residual revenue. Doesn't matter if it's an individual plan or family plan. 5 of them equals 50 because they're $10 each. You might get 1 payment processing customer to get 50. I don't know what you're going to do, but you want to get 50 residual revenue. Can you do that? Of course you can. The second thing you want to do is become a team trainer. Team trainer is when you have 100 personal residual revenue and you built a team that their volume total is $250 or more, 250 residual revenue or more in their team, 250 more. And you can't have more than 40%, there's a 40% rule, come from any one leg. This is called the leg. No more than 40%. Why do we do that? We want to make sure you have at least 3 legs. You got to have at least 3 teams. 40% of 250 is what? It's $100. So no more than 100 can come from this leg. And no more than 100 towards your 250 can come from this leg. And no more than 100 can come from this leg. All right. But as all of this combined, once you got 250 or more, you're a team trainer. Can you do that? Of course you can do that. So that's step 2. Why do you want to become a qualified associate? Number 1, you get 3 levels of pay now. Why do you want to become a team trainer? Now you get 4 levels of pay a team trainer, but you've hit the foundation rank. This right here is the foundation rank that everything is built upon. Right there, team trainer. That's the rank you want to hit, team trainer. Again, what is it? 100 in personal residual revenue customers, your own customers. You can't buy this, you get customers. And then an organization that has 250 group residual revenue, this group and their people and their people and their people, with no more than 100 come from any one leg. You are qualified a team trainer. You now get 4 levels pay, but you become an example of becoming an SVP because you just did what it takes to run the McDonald's, if you will, to manage the business, if you will. Because did you get a funding yet? No. 1, 2, 3. Step 3 is get 200 residual revenue personally. Get 200 residual. Why do we want you to get 200 residual revenue personally? Boom, because now you're qualified for enroller bonuses forever, and it's the minimum you need for every rank we have in our company. So now you've done what you need to do to personally qualify for every rank in the company. You've got to 200 residual revenue. How quick do you want to do that? Like yesterday. Like yesterday. So we pay on the 15th of every month. So like the 15th of July, we'll be paying for all the June residual revenue. Obviously, the bonuses we pay daily for the funding, but I'm talking about the monthly residual income. We pay it on the 15th, and it's for all the revenue for the month prior. And we look at what rank you were at the end of the month. So if you were a qualified associate by the end of the month, then you'll get 3 levels of pay in your team. If you were a team trainer, you'll get 4 levels of pay of your team. If you're an area trainer, you get 6 levels. If you're an area director, you get 7 levels. So you want to, by the end of the month, get to team trainer minimum. Get there. In fact, you want to get to area trainer, which is even the next rank. So look at the comp plan chart and climb the ladder as far as you can by the end of the month because you're positioned to get more pay on your team. You'll have a 4th level like this. You'll recruit someone, recruit someone, recruit someone, recruit someone. They're on your 5th level. And they may make $1,000 next month, and you can make 25% of that 1,000 if you're qualified to. How do you get qualified? Climb the ranks. So we're helping you. We're showing you the plan. Do this first, 50. Get to team trainer. Again, team trainer is 100 with 3 groups, 250, 3 groups or more, 250 group residual revenue, right? Boom. Now we're going to go to step 3, and we're going to get 200 residual revenue. If you can do these 3 things, baby, you can do this. Repeat the process with every single one of these people. What are you telling this person? 1, 2, 3, repeat. What are you telling these 3? 1, 2, 3, repeat. Why do they need to become a qualified associate? Because they get 3 levels of pay. Why do they need to become a team trainer? Because it's the foundation rank and you now get 4 levels of pay and you're being an example for your team. Why do they need to get to 200 residual revenue, which is step 3? Because they need to get enroller bonus qualified forever and they need to get their minimum qualification for every rank up above. That's why, what do you tell this person? 1, 2, 3, repeat, 1, 2, 3, repeat, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And guess what? Didn't do it, didn't do it, didn't do it, didn't do it, didn't do it. Did it, did it, did it, did. Now that means they got other people over here who did some volume, right? But they just didn't do the 1, 2, 3 repeat. But this one did, and this one did, and this one did, and this one did. And they're going, look at all the people again, and they did, and they did. And all of a sudden you're an area director by everyone just doing 1, 2, 3 repeat. Well, David, I mean, this is kind of one of the, it sounds like you're trying to really be a little, no, this is what I'm trying to show you. When McDonald's had McDonald's, they had a brilliant way of making French fries, making cheeseburgers, making milkshakes, and they had a real good idea of talking to the kids who came to the window to order the hamburger. That's what the McDonald's brothers had. What they didn't have is knowledge that they had something really unique. They didn't know how. They tried to franchise it and failed. McDonald's failed. The McDonald's brothers tried to franchise McDonald's, but failed. But what Ray Kroc, the milkshake machine person, recognizes, I don't have to teach people how to make filet mignon to be a connoisseur chef. I don't have to go to Paris to learn how to cook to make millions in the restaurant business. I don't need to have a fine dining experience to do well. I can take that beautiful little business and duplicate the heck out of it. And one day we'll be selling more ketchup than Heinz. And one day we'll have more Matchbox cars going out in our Happy Meals than Toys R Us. And one day we'll be doing more Disney toys than Disney. We'll blow away the mark. He understood. I didn't understand all that, but he understood I could have 50,000 locations all pushing that little burger machine and that little French fry machine and that little milkshake machine. That's what he knew. You don't have to be. See, my pride says I should be selling mergers and acquisitions of $1 million fundings because, after all, people I graduated from with at Michigan Business School do that. That's what my pride says. My business common sense says I'd much rather have 50,000 people who are team trainers and make $4 million a month and never have to deal with a pompous merger and acquisition ever. I would rather help 50,000 people escape the rat race than deal with two pompous rich people. Maybe they're not pompous, two rich people who want to sell their merge their business. Go for it. Do your thing. But I'd rather help 50,000 people who don't like their jobs get out of their jobs. I'd rather help 100,000 people help millions of customers. That's what I'd rather do. 1, 2, 3, repeat. Well, that's below me. Great. Go do like McDonald's did. I'm going to do what Ray Kroc did. Go create filet mignon. I'm going to create fillets of money. 1, 2, 3, repeat. 1, 2, 3, repeat. And then get and stay amped. That's the fourth thing you want to do. Get and stay amped. That means you're referring funding clients. You get one funding client a month. Just get one a month. Figure out a way. Talk to enough people. After you've talked to a few hundred people who know you about funding, you're going to have one a month just from people calling you and going, hey, I need a funding. I got a funding right now in the mix. I didn't even call. I've not called them in over a year. Right. And it's right now in the mix for $250,000. Right now it's in the mix for $250,000. I had a funding client last month. They got 75,000. I hadn't talked to them in several months. But I've talked to enough people in my 9 years that it's not hard to get a funding client one a month because I've talked to a lot. Over time, get and stay amped. That just means get one new funding client a month of at least 6,000 bonus or 600 bonus revenue, and you'll be amped up. And what'll happen if you're amped up is you now make 6% of fundings instead of 4, and you make 50% enroller bonus. Anyone you personally enrolled, you make 50% of whatever they make on the funding, 50% of whatever they make on the funding because you're amped up. So you got to learn about amped up, get and stay amped. That's why it's on our game plan. 1, 2, 3, repeat and get and stay amped. That's your game plan. That's what you should shoot for every month. At the end of the month, you got to look back and go, did I do 1, 2, 3? If you did, you've already checked it. You never have to do it again. You should keep doing it, but you just have to repeat it with everyone in your team. Now your goal is tell this person, this person, this person, because guess what happens? For every person who does this, there's 200 personal, there's 250 minimum in a group, which really they're going to average about $500 in a group. So there's about $700 in residual revenue produced for everyone who does 1, 2, 3 repeat. You need 100,000 to become an RVP. RVP, which we said is the goal, is 100,000 in group residual revenue. If you got 700 on average for every person who does this, you only need what? If this is 1,000, 100 people, I'll just say 120 people, 120 people who do this plan, and you're making 6 figures a year. Yeah, but I want to make filet mignon. Go ahead, make it. Make it on your grill in the backyard. But let's go make filet of money by doing something that everybody can do rather than it's just those who are chefs. You don't have to be a chef to succeed in McDonald's. You shouldn't have to be. It needs to be simple. Simple is, simple does. So 1, 2, 3, repeat. You got it? You got the plan? Now I'm going to show you what to do, how to do it. So we've already did the goal is RVP and higher. You've already seen the benefits. Now, meeting after the meeting, I'm going to leave that up there. Now let's go into what's your process of doing this? Really, you think it's going to be hard? You think it's going to be real complicated? You think it's going to be dependent on you being a superstar? You think it's going to be dependent on you? I can't quote scripture. I've read the Bible I don't know how many times. My body does not retain scripture to quote. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. I've just said, God, I'm not going to wrestle with it anymore. If you want me to know a scripture, help me retain it. I'm studying and studying. And I know the ones that speak to me and I can repeat those, but I just can't get it. But I understand the Holy Spirit, and I understand sitting in prayer and listening to God. And I don't have to quote what Romans 2:42 says. I'd like to. I know it's better to be able to have the word and share the word than not be able to have and share. And I'm just telling you, I try. And I just don't retain it the way I'd like to retain it. So I don't have the confidence to promote it. So what I do is I just share my own testimony. And guess what? I'm pretty simple. And a lot of people call me and say, hey, can you share with that again with me? And I don't know what Romans 8:8 says. I do, but I don't have to know what it says. And I don't know what Romans 12 says, although I do, but I don't have to quote. I just share my story. I find that that's more attractive to people than me being a biblical scholar. Nothing wrong with being a biblical scholar. I'm not knocking it. I just don't retain that way. I wish I did, but I don't. I'm not going to show you steps that you have to retain magic. You may go, David, you've covered a lot of stuff. I'm going fast. You can watch the recording again. But can you do 50 residual revenue? Can you build a team of 3 who does 250? Can you then go get 200? Then you can do this. You don't need to be able to understand the pharmaceutical formulas of lisinopril to do this. Let the pharmacist worry about that. Okay? So here's what you do. Here's your 5 steps. Here's your 5 steps to wealth. This is simple. This is so easy. Sorry about my wobbly laptop here. Number 1, I'm going to turn it this way. Approach. So you have a list of people. We have memory joggers in our training, but the bottom line is your phone is full of people. You've got the app. Use the app, take the 4-minute video, and send it off to people. Send it off to people. You're trying to find people who want what? Who want to escape, who want to be RVPs, who want to make money outside of what they're currently doing, who are hungry. The person that I walked into that meeting after the meeting was someone who wanted out of General Motors, even though I had a good job. I wanted out. The people you want coming in is people go, I don't have my thing yet. I'm a college graduate and I got a C, and so I don't get the job offers and I'm looking for my thing. Great, make money what you're doing and build this part-time, and let's blow away every job offer anyone you know got. Let's go get you to 6 figures and you don't need those job offers. Then let's get you to 7 figures and you don't need those job offers. Let's go do it. So you want some hungry. The reason why you want people to have goal. The meeting after the meeting is for the people who say, I want to get it happening. This is the same way I talked when I was 24 and made it happen as I do now, because it's the lifeblood of what I do is help people get free of their jobs and believe they can. But I don't guarantee it because I'm not the one making the calls. They are. But I can show them the simple is as simple does. I got a gentleman in our town, unfortunately, he just passed away, but he owns every McDonald's in town, or he owned every McDonald's in town. He ran them all. Successfully. Big old house up on the hill. What did he do? He knew how to run conveyor belts and hire 16-year-olds to run it. Approach people. Find out if they have interest. This is what you want to do. You want to, this is how I do it. You can do it any way you want. You can say, listen, I'm a part of a company that we're on a movement right now, and we are going to disrupt the pharmaceutical industry with a pharmaceutical membership. We've got something like what Netflix did to Blockbuster. We're going to do to every pharmacy. It's unbelievable. This membership gives you almost every medication for free for $20 membership. $20. Do you know anyone spending more than 20 on pharmaceutical? It doesn't include every medication, but it includes over 90% of them. And we're earning money at it. We want to put on tens of millions of customers, and we're looking for an army of people that want to get out there and make big bank with this business. Now, use whatever words you want, make some big bank with this business. On top of that, we even have ways to make upfront bonuses like tomorrow with a comma in it from business funding. It's amazing what we've got. We're looking for people that want to be entrepreneurial and get after it. Are you open? Because I'm working with the founder of the company, and I'm on a call with the founder Monday, a live Zoom at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And I'd love you to be on it with me if you like what you see. If you want to check it out, I got a video I want you to watch from my website. It's our Partner With Us page. I'd love you to watch the video about our business. And if you like what you hear, I want to make sure you're on the call Monday, our live leadership call for the people that want to get after this business, the meeting after the meeting. And then you give them the video. That's what I do. That's how I built. I only want people who want to get to RVP. I only want to invest my time. Now, I'll work with everybody. If someone goes, I just want to make an extra $100 a month, God bless you. We got a great opportunity for you. But I can't invest all my hours into you because we won't be a thriving company if we only work with people who want to make $100 a month. Now, if you have a team of people and you recruit 50, 3 of them will be shooting for RVPs, 30 of them will be going for $100 a month. And we got a great system for them, don't we? And they can get out and do it, can't they? We got people who've made 40 grand in funding with us, never recruited one person and never intend to, and they've made 40 grand in a year. No, I'm just referring to business. I know some people refer to our ERCs made $32,000 from one client. I mean, it's crazy what you can do just by referring people. But if you're dedicated to say right here, baby, 1, 2, 3, repeat, 1, 2, 3, repeat, get amp stamped, 1, 2, 3, repeat, get amp stamped, 1, 2, 3, get amp stamped. Okay, so you approach them. Then you put them in front of the business opportunity meeting. Okay, in the biz op meeting, they're going to see the 4 steps of getting started and they're going to get onboarded. Okay, but then you want them at the Monday Leadership Live. Monday Live. Who's doing the Monday Live? The founder of the company. I want you to be on a call. I'm working with the founder of the company directly. Every Monday, we have a summit where we come together and we're talking about how we can take our business to the next level. And if you're serious, I want you to be in that meeting with me. It's at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Watch this business opportunity video. Let me know what you think afterward. If they like it, they'll go through the 4 steps. In the video, we say, get with the person and let them know how you feel. If you're serious about moving forward, you want to be a trailblazer, then you want to get in our RVP Go-Getters group. Subscribe to it. Be on the Monday Zooms, right? What are we teaching on the Monday Zooms? 1, 2, 3, repeat, get amp stamped. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to recruit 1,000 people who do it. And it'll be $700,000. 700 times 1,000, 700,000 in new residual revenue. And then we'll recruit another 1,000 who do it. And it'll be another 700,000 in monthly residual revenue. And then we'll recruit another 1,000 who do it. It'll be another 700,000. And that doesn't count the hundreds of people who just do 200 residual revenue, or just do 20, or just do 30, or just do 40, but didn't lose a dime. They get a check from us every month. They get a check. It's only $6, but they get a check from us every month. Approach. What do you say? You're looking to make money outside of what you're doing because I'm working with the founder of the company. You're looking to make money outside of what you're doing because I'm working with the founder of the company. We're looking for some serious people who want to make some serious income. We're running a plan. Every Monday we get together about a plan to make 6 figures with this company. It's commission basis, but it's doable. And I'd love you to be a part of the team if you're interested. I want you to watch a video. BizOp video from your Partner With Us page. They go through, you put them on the Monday call, then you do a private game plan with them. Put them on the Monday call and do a private game plan. We'll be doing private game plans on the Monday call. So you'll see how to do that. Folks, he or she who replicates this process most, as soon as you have one, your first one, 1, 2, 3, repeat, they may get to team trainer before you. Here's you. You introduce Tom. You say, Tom, dude, listen, you got to be on Monday's call. Here's the plan. 1, 2, 3, repeat. Get amped, stay amped. We got to get you to 50 residual revenue. How do you want to focus on that? Pharmacy, okay. Pharmacy plan, do you understand the product real well? Great. You want to approach people, ask them if they're spending more than 20 or know anyone spending more than 20, send them the app link. Use the marketing app. That way you know they've opened the video, they've watched the video, and you can follow up and say, hey, did you like what you see? Okay, we're going to get you your 50, right? And then we want to get you to team trainer. So you're eventually going to want to get to 100, right? And build a team. So you want to recruit people. And this is what you do when you recruit them. You let them know you're working with the founder of the company. And every Monday you get on a call with the founder of the company live where you can talk questions, ask questions, talk about how to get into the top of the pay plan. And you want to know if they're interested, and if they're interested, you get them to watch a biz op meeting. And if they watch the biz op meeting and they want to go to the next level, they subscribe to the RVP Go Getters plan and they're on the Monday call. And you do a game plan with them. Great job, Tom. Tom goes, I can do this. And Tom recruits too. You've only recruited Tom. And what's Tom saying to these two? We're running 1, 2, 3, repeat, boo. We got to go to RVP. That's what I call my wife. Sorry. We got to go. McGuire's going, oh, goodness. He dropped the boo. Morgan's going, oh, boo. Oh, my goodness. Okay. But we got to go to, it's my wife I recruited. All right. Boo, we got to get you to qualified associate where you get 3 levels. And we got to do 1, 2, 3, repeat. We got to do this. How are you going to do it? We're going to do pharmacy. Great. Pharmacy. Let's do it. Payment processing. Great. And get am stand. You cover the 4. It's all you got to know is the 4 things. And then you tell them, I'm working with the founder of the company. Every Monday we get on a live call and recruits people. Lisa goes, oh my God, you're kidding me. I want in this. So 1, 2, 3, I can do this. That's simple enough. And I get on the Monday call. And Monday calls, she gets fired up a little bit more. Just like some of you might be right now. Some of you are turned off. I intentionally share the truth so that some of you would just go, it's not for me. That's okay. I'm not trying to scare you away. I'm trying to inspire you in. But some of you aren't going to be inspired and go that, yeah, I'm not really interested in doing that. I just want to get funding customers. Good for you. Get am, stay be an affiliate, rock and roll. But we're talking about this group and this group. And everyone on Mondays talking about this group and this plan. And everyone can do this. And you approach, you tell them you're working with the founder, you tell them we're working RVP, 1, 2, 3, repeat, and then you go do it. And this one didn't do it. So what do? No problem. You have other people. Tom, don't worry about if Margie isn't ready to get after it. Margie doesn't want to do it. Margie doesn't have to do it. Replace with someone else. That's it. That's it. Little pods of $700. Little pods of $700. Little pods of $700. And boom, funding bonus. Little pods of 700. Boom, $3,000 bonus. Little pods. Oh, $1,500 override. Little pods of $700. Oh, $700,000 funding, and the rep made 28 grand. Holy goodness! And you're the enroller, and you made 20% of that. Holy goodness! But it doesn't matter. It doesn't change it, man. It doesn't change it if McDonald's has a big catering job and they make $1 million from one deal. It doesn't matter. They're doing 39-cent burgers or $3.90 burgers, whatever they are now. They're just doing the simple system. Simple system. Simple system. 1, 2, 3, repeat, get am stand. 1, 2, 3, repeat, get am stand. 1, 2, 3, repeat, get am stand. That's what we do. And eventually you're at the 100,000 group revenue. You're making 100,000 a year. Then you're at the 250,000 group revenue and you're making 250,000 a year. Then you're at the 500,000 group revenue, you're making 500,000 a year, residually, plus bonuses, plus overrides, plus expense accounts, plus revenue sharing. That's it. I went through a lot, but you can see the board. Can you approach and invite someone to a biz op meeting? Those who are interested? Yeah. Not everyone's going to be interested. After the biz op, can you find out if they're interested? And I went, yeah. Can you find out if they're serious and want to go for the RVP like we talked about in the biz op? If so, they want to join the RVP Go Getters mail list right from their welcome letter. It's right in their welcome letter. It's right in their welcome letter. Can you onboard them, make sure they have their apps, their links? Can you go through the welcome letter with them? Can you read their welcome letter with them? Can you just read their welcome letter with them? Can you pull it out and say, okay, you see the next paragraph? What does it say? There's your links. Okay, you got your links. Great. And now look at the next paragraph after that. That's your back office. Those are your credentials to get in your back office. There's the app. You want to download the app. This is a marketing app. It helps you share the videos and tools, and you're notified if they've opened your videos and tools. And then they're sent to your replicated website where you get credit. It's fantastic. There's no investment required of you. Can you read the welcome letter with them? Of course you can. If you haven't seen a welcome letter in a while, go into your back office and click on support ticket and say, please send my welcome letter. And they'll send your welcome letter to you again. So you can see the latest, greatest welcome letter. All right. So that way you can go through it. Can you onboard someone by reading their welcome letter with them? Can you tell them where the funding training is? Can you tell them where they are? If they want to leave with payment processing, can you say, here, go in your back office with me real quick? You see on the top, it says payment processing. Yeah, click on payment processing. See that video right there? There's the payment processing training. Read it, watch it, read it, watch it, read it, watch it, read it, watch it. Ask me any questions. Can you do that? Of course you can do it. 1, 2, 3, repeat, approach, BizOp video, 4 steps of getting started, onboard them right by reading their welcome letter with them. It's really that simple. Put them into this Monday meetings that we're doing every Monday, and then do a private game plan with them, which we'll be showing on the Mondays how to do it. And it's basically just goal setting on when you're going to hit what ranks. But can you do this? Because if you can do this, you can get to the top of rank. What questions have you got? That's all I want to cover today. I'm sure your questions may spur things, but I'd love to go to Ellen Wynn first, who's here. I asked her if she could be on standby. Before we do this, Ellen, you've built a large organization prior to DAC. You love DAC for what it stands for. You go every Tuesday and you're a top healthcare customer acquisition person. You do a business opportunity meeting every Tuesday at noon, which I encourage you all to watch. You did one today, and you love DAC, and you get called all the time from other partnering companies who want you to come over because of your leadership skills and what you do in team building and growth. And you don't need to be taught any of this stuff. You go do this stuff without even any mentorship showing you. And I was talking to you a couple of weeks ago. I said, why are you still in DAC? And you shared, and it was, or why, not still, why do you choose DAC over every other company? Because you've been here 5 or 6 years, right? And you shared it, and it was really touching to me. And I'm not asking you to share that now. That's a private thing that you shared with me, and maybe you want to share it, maybe you don't. But it's more, I'd love for you to, after everything I just said, everything you've digested, if you could just share from your heart. I'm not even going to direct or encourage you direct in a certain way. If you could do me a favor and just open up your mic and share your perspective of what you've just seen and whatever else you want to add. You with us,
Hey,
Ellen?
David. I am. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. I don't know if you got video live. If so, we'd love to share your video,
I
but
do
I don't know
have
if you're
video.
just in audio.
Let's see. I've got camera.
Okay. If our support team can find her and put her split screen with me, that'd be great. Ellen Wynn, superstar Ellen Wynn.
David, this is so good. And, when I first got started in the industry, I went to the meeting after the meeting that you just described. Not the same one, but I saw one with the first company that I got started with. And you could not pry me away from what I had just seen because it was so real. I I really saw it. And it looked exactly like the corporate America structure that I was so familiar with, but I didn't have any of the financial risk or the employees or the headaches to deal with. So I'm so excited to see us going to this new, the meeting after the meeting plan as part of our growth structure. I do want to share what I shared with you about why I'm here. Yep, I just hit 6-year anniversary and I love it. But I'm here because of David Rutz, and not just David as who he is as a person, but I saw your vision, and I listened and I saw everything that you were talking about. I believed it, and everything that I've seen you do over the past 6 years, everything that you have said, you have just exemplified the vision that you painted in the very beginning. So I see the long term. I see that we're going to be one of those legendary companies that's here 50 years, 60, 7,500 years from now. And it doesn't end with just me or you. It's that legendary company that's going to be here for the years, because we're doing things the right way. And the fact that we have services that make an impact in the end consumer's life, we're saving them money. It's just a no-brainer that our company is going to grow. We just don't have enough people in the field that are willing to do what I do. And I'll use myself as an example because you stated that, David. I do.
Yes.
I do a team meeting every Monday, and I have for over 3 years. I made a commitment to do that, and I lead a team meeting every Monday night. I do a team Zoom. Harlequin Murray comes on as my co-host. She committed when I said, okay, I'm going to do this. Are you in it with me? And she said, yes. So we're doing that. We're doing the meetings on Tuesday. I'm here. I communicate with my team each and every day, and there's not a day goes by that someone in my team reaches out to me and asks me a question, whether I personally sponsor them or whether they're 7, 8, 10, 15 levels deep in my group. If they don't have someone that can give them the answer, I'm that champion of DAC, helping them get the tools and the information that they need and pointing them back to the right information. We have everything that we need right here at our fingertips. I love the new app. It really simplifies the whole business building aspect of what we're doing. But what you have just rolled out here in the past couple of weeks, the 1, 2, 3 repeat, is like brain dead simple. Anybody and everybody can do it. And one of the things that, I think you and I may have discussed this about whether we're leading with funding or whether we want to lead with healthcare or whatever. Everybody can lead with the RX plan. So I encourage you guys, if you're listening to this and you're going, well, I don't know, that doesn't excite me because I really want to focus on funding. Think of this. You may be focused on funding, but whether you're trying to recruit someone or not, you're inevitably going to have people that want to join your team because they're seeing what you're doing and they're going to want to get on that train with you. And if you're teaching the get qualified, the 1, 2, 3 repeat, get qualified, get your 200 and repeat. If you're teaching that, then everybody can do that, whether they have the ability to talk to a business owner or not. So this is really the little tweak, I think, that's going to set DAC on fire. We've got the app, we've got the services now that we need. And I think all of those little layers have been laid, just waiting for a handful of people in DAC now to take this and run with it and go aggressively looking for that next person that's going to be a leader in your organization that's going to take it and run with it as well. We're on to something really big, and the meeting after the meeting is the game plan strategy for sure.
Amen. Thank you all. And you know what's great about this is the 1, 2, 3 repeat doesn't rule out the funding people. Because get amp, stay amp. You want to go get more funding clients than anyone else, go for it. But don't omit this part. The reason why is you'll always be qualified for enroller bonuses, even if you have a bad month. And you'll be setting an example for what the masses are willing to do. And if you can get amped and stay amped, that means you're getting funding clients. You're making 100 grand a year just on your own clients. But you're building a residual as well, and you're teaching a system that anyone can do. You're basically making filet mignon while teaching how to run the conveyor belt McDonald's machine. So you're still getting the big bonuses, helping big businesses, while also making dollars and quarters and 50-cent pieces, but having like a toll booth that pays you residually. This is the model. We've been working for 9 years on just this. Get amped, stay amped. And then for the last year, we've been trying to figure out how to merge in the great residual plan when you got so much good money in this. But you know what? With 90% of the people can't do this or don't do this, but they can do this. They can go get pharmacy customers for $20. And so when you implement it all, even if you're you've been a business to business person, you help a lot of people with business, just do this and check off the list so that you can say you're an example and you did it. Because when you recruit 1,000 people in your team and only 50 of them do this, you're going to say, what in the world's up? But if 800 of them can do this, you're making 20 grand a month off of this while you're making great bonuses on your own funding here. So this just makes sense. We see all the percentages. We see all the numbers. We see all the fundings, the quality, the amount, all that. We see it all. This is the best plan or we wouldn't teach it. This is how we make more money, how you make more money. Everyone wins with this. All right. I want to share one other thing. I put a bunch of things up on the board. These are our ranks. These are in the comp plan chart. I know some people may ask. I want to share one thing. We'll go to your questions. The bottom number is how much personal group value, how much group volume you need. The top number is the personal volume. It's hard to see in the light, I know. But when you look at this, every rank you get gives you more, gives you something. Higher overrides, higher coding bonuses, higher car allowances, higher expense accounts, more levels of a team, higher enroller bonuses, a revenue sharing, equity, bigger expense accounts, bigger car allowances. Every rank you get national director. You now make 30% on everybody in your 7 levels rather than 25. So there's little hidden eggs, Easter eggs, all throughout this. Some people say Easter eggs are little hidden gems that you got to look for. There's nothing hidden in this. It's in the comp plan details right here, baby. It's showing page by page by page. But the whole point is shoot for a new rank every month. I mean, when you first get started, you should be shooting to go to area trainer by the end of your first month. It's 1,000 in group residual revenue, but you do it by doing 1, 2, 3, repeat, 1, 2, 3, repeat, 1, 2, 3, repeat. You don't do it by going, I'm going to do 1,000 in residual revenue, group revenue. No, you just do this. And then you repeat that with everyone in your team. And some will do it, some won't, some will, some won't. So what? And all of a sudden you got 1,000 in group volume. And then you keep repeating it, and someone will get an amped up, and someone will get an not amped up. But all of a sudden you're at 5,000, and you just keep repeating. By the end of the month, you try to get to 10,000. By the end of the month, you try to get to 25. And when you get to this rank and higher, you can't make less than the group volume. If you're a regional director, you can't make less than 25 grand a year residually. You're a national director, you can't make less than 50 grand a year residually. You're a RVP, you can't make less than $100,000 a year residually. So you want to climb the ranks. That's why this is needed. Because otherwise you got to hope your group has a good funding month. And they will because of this. They're still doing this. But if they're just doing this, then you look back at the end of the month and wow, they did $1 million in funding this month, and my residual revenue is $1,000. Well, 10,000. $1 million funding would be 100,000 bonus revenue, 10,000 residual. We did 10,000 residual revenue because we did $1 million in funding. I'm area director. But next month they don't do $1 million, and you're not an area director, and you fall to an area trainer. They don't want that. So here's the way we do it. Real simple is, simple does. 1, 2, 3, repeat, get AMP stamped. 1, 2, 3, repeat, get AMP stamped. Recruit 1,000 people, and 100 of them are going to get funding clients. And most of them are going to do this. They can all get pharmacy clients, but not all of them can get funding clients. They should be, but they can't. So that's the plan. I'm sticking to it. Anyone else want to make a comment? Any of the new people got a question? Any of the people who've been around a while? Any comments from anybody or questions? Raise your hand if you got a comment or question. Anyone excited? If you're excited, you want to share your excitement, share that. That's a comment.
We have a hand up. Joe Parsons, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello. I just had a couple questions on the team building side. One being, say you find a customer, a payment processing customer that maybe has that cash discount program already, and
Yep.
you show them a way they can join and be their own agent to get some of that back. Is that, I mean, to me, I mean, they're not, if all they're doing is being a team member that way and just with their business and they're not promoting it, are they considered part of your team, or is that kind of something different?
Well, they're part of your team because we're paying them the commission on their client, right? You had them join to earn a commission. So they can only
Yes.
earn a commission if they're an agent. So they'd be an agent in your team. The only other way to do it is if you keep them as a customer and give them a part of your commission and 1099 them, then they're your personal customer. But for the most part, that strategy of trying to get someone to become a agent to earn on themselves because we can't get them to switch, they'd be a level 1 affiliate of yours. They'd count toward your group residual revenue. They wouldn't count toward your personal residual revenue.
But that's okay to approach it that way if need be.
Absolutely. I'm doing it now. I'm sending, we created a graphic to approach businesses that I could not get to move off the needle because they're already doing dual pricing and they've got a relationship, or they just don't want to hassle because they can't save anymore. They're already paying nothing. What are you earning? You're paying nothing, but what are you earning? Because we can give you about 0.25% of your sales as income if you become an agent for free. So now all of a sudden that's a way that you could recruit them. So yes, you could do that. They would be one of your first level reps. And guess what? They may refer people. They did it for their own. This is you. They did it for their own, but then they go, wow, I could refer others as personal customers and earn on them too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or you can refer others. So yeah, you can do it that way. Yes.
Yeah, well, and the reason I asked about this, my family, we're actually in the restaurant business, have been for a long time. We own a American Diner, and I would say it's the community spot. I mean, it's the busiest restaurant in town, and if I could do this in a successful way and show other restaurant owners a way to replicate that to bring in supplemental income. Say, hey, you own a restaurant, take care of your processing, do a quarterly event, and you can make this much money, because I know you're not making that much in the restaurant business right now, because it's not an easy business to be in. Supplement your income with this great program that can help your business and help other businesses. So that's just kind of where my thoughts are
Amen.
there.
I agree with you. I was talking to a business owner who does $480,000 a year in sales, um, pays, earns about 30,000 a year only because they got to cover all the bills. So they're only making about 30 grand. They have people working for them who make more. They're making 30 grand. So to be able to make $1,000, save $1,000 on their payment processing, which becomes income now to their company, 12 grand, that takes their income from 30 to 40. And now to be able to earn the commission on it, it's not a huge amount, but 30,000 times, just call it, $375 a month.
Yep.
That's another 4,000 a year they get to their income. So they get a 10% raise by being an agent with us and switching their processing. Plus they're saving the processing. So it's a massive change to a business doing great revenue, but still only making 30 grand because they're just at that break even point, right? You're in the restaurant business. You can do very well, but you got to work a lot of hours and there's never a day off really. And it's tough business to
Mhm.
be in. So we want to help them definitely.
My other question is, I live in a town of 5,000 people. It's not a large area. The total trade area is about 9,000 people. But I mean,
Mhm.
I'm within a couple hours of bigger areas that would be better, I think, for recruiting. But my only thing, I feel like I might need to build my personal um, residual income before recruiting in my area, because and just want your opinion on this, because say I sign 5 people in my town, and then there's 5 people advertising to 5,000 people, that might almost be like an overload for the market. Do you have any thought there?
Two thoughts. Number one, you won't ever saturate a market, believe it or not. As much as you would think 5,000 could saturate 5,000 or 5 people could saturate 5,000, you wouldn't. Um, if they all saturated the market, they'd all be doing very well. There'd be thousands of customers and all of them would be making nice money every month and they could spread to other territories. But what would happen is, just like birds takes poison ivy and plant them in different places, not intending to. People will plant this business in different towns as well. So those 5 people wouldn't just do your town. They'd be advertising over the telephone, over Zooms like we are, and they'd be opening up customers in other cities and towns too. Just like you said, you might want to recruit outside your town. They would too. Part one is so you will never saturate. People have always thought that, and it just never happens. Number two, you don't have to wait until you're earning money to recruit others, because there's plenty of prospects, number one. But number two, it's already working. So if you wait for it to work for you, first of all, someone else may recruit those people. But secondly, you may wait 4 or 5 months before you recruit anyone. And in 4 or 5 months, you could have 800, 900,000 people already. You could be earning more off your team's income than off your personal customers because you didn't wait. And I'll tell you in DAC, I almost waited to talk to people until I got funding clients myself. But we had 7 or 8 funding clients before I got my first. Thankfully, I didn't talk, and they encouraged me. It actually was like, yeah, I knew this would work. I knew this would work, but they're getting clients before I am. But I believed in it. If you don't believe in it, don't recruit anyone. But if you believe the product is really good, the pharmacy product, if you believe the payment processing is really good, if you believe the healthcare and the funding and the pharmacy membership, if you believe they're all really good, and you know their value to customers, you don't have to earn first before referring others. Let some come and they may spur people on faster than you, and they may spur you on too. So I would say never wait. Wait until you believe. Wait until you believe. But once you believe, go for it.
And then
Great
my last
questions,
quick
Joe.
question for you is there, and I'm new and I've watched a lot of your stuff on YouTube about all of it, but do you have any sort of training, and maybe, and if the answer is that doesn't work for this industry, then that's what I need to know, but on events, doing, promoting your own event or trade shows, stuff like that. Because I mean, in the restaurant, we currently do, a quarterly give back dinner where we may have 500 people in and raise $5,000 in the evening. It's not uncommon. And so I feel like I could do, I'm an event person, I'm a promoter. I mean, I can get people to pretty well anything, but I haven't seen that really as a big part of your business. Is that something that you feel works, doesn't work? What's your thoughts on that? And same thing with like trade shows. I've been in the real estate business as well, so I've gone to home show stuff. There's a ton of people there. There's all different types of. Does that do you see success at those type of things, or is that something that it's people don't want to take the time at whenever they're at an event like that?
As far as customer acquisition as an affiliate, they work. Those things work. You could have an educational event at a restaurant where you promote, you're going to discuss the difference between bank funding and alternative revenue-based funding for all business owners, or dual pricing of payment processing versus standard pricing. And you bring in an educational event. You can do things like that. You can have events. I've done events at our Chamber of Commerce where I educate on revenue-based funding or on dual pricing because people want to know about that. And when it's put out as educational, then they come to learn. Home shows, trade shows, those all work for getting leads. For getting leads, we don't see a lot of conversion at the event, but they're great for expanding your reach of contacts, as you can imagine. But as far as it doesn't build team building, it builds personal customer acquisition. So it's great for as affiliates referring customers, just like doing YouTubes. I mean, we have influencers who do educational videos. They do events, but they're online and
Mhm.
they bring people in and then they educate. And educational events are very effective. So yes, I built my business before the internet all with events, but they were team building events, Joe. They weren't customer acquisition events. So they were events like we're doing right now. They were, let's get
Mhm.
together, anyone you want. I'll do the business opportunity meeting at 7 p.m. Then we'll do a get started meeting after the meeting at 8 p.m. And for those who are serious, we'll give them a light show and we're going to come back the following week. I don't mean light show like lights. I mean, we'll light
Oh
up
yeah.
the room and then we'll do an event 7 days later and they can bring more people. And the room just doubles and doubles and doubles and doubles. So we intend to do live events, recruiting, team building, and training events, customer acquisition events. We've had some people test different things where they'll have Facebook, Zooms, educational. So absolutely, if you've done it before, then you know how you could tweak it for what we do.
And do you have a very big, just because I haven't ever seen your stuff advertised? I mean, I had to dig to find the company because I've always been fascinated by network marketing, but I've never been able to find a product that I felt I could get behind in a program until I found your program. But do you have a many agents in the Oklahoma, Kansas area? I just haven't seen it advertised a whole lot. I didn't know if you've got into this area much yet.
We've got some there, but it's to my point about saturation. Even we've got Atlanta, a bunch of agents in Atlanta, but most people in Atlanta have never heard of us.
Okay.
So we don't teach advertising. We teach word of mouth advertising. Of course, social influencing, if you can do well on YouTube and Facebook and be an educator and do social posts, but social posts are seen by 2 or 3% of your friends only. So it's not a big
Hmm.
thing. So, but no, it's we've not and keep in mind, we just started approaching people about the business opportunity really heavy in the last 90 days. Prior to that, in fact, it's really in the last 30 days. Prior to that, it was affiliates, marketing, business funding. And
Well, and
so
that's what
that's more of a word of mouth.
I had found you guys is before you did the RX and the healthcare actually, and whenever I saw that, I business funding, I'm like, that's it's a great idea, but it wasn't something that I felt I could really sell as much as. But when I saw that, I said, this is going to be huge. This company's going to be the next Primerica or the next huge company. And I said, I feel like this is kind of bottom floor, and it's going to exponentially grow every year. And this is the time to get in on it. To be completely honest.
Amen. Well, we agree with you. And I'm a big fan of A.L. Williams and Primerica. And I turn my thing, you see all his books sitting right over there. I love Art Williams. I wish I could meet him personally.
So, well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate having you. And thanks for your kind words about your belief in the business after launching those things. We agree. You see the same thing we see, that this makes it more adaptable. Okay, who else do we got? I think it's Jonathan and then Harlequin.
Yep, Jonathan, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi there. My name's Jonathan. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, buddy. Glad to have
Great.
you.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. I came across a job post on Indeed just yesterday. Joined Team Gold Star, if you know them. But they kind of recommend me, or check it out. I did research about an hour and a half, and then and then joined, and then saw that there were some Zoom meetings. I joined the Zoom meetings this morning. Got introduction to the RX program, and then the overview, but wanted to join tonight. I learned some more things as far as the team building goes tonight. But I did have a couple questions. So, do you think it'd be better to build up a team of reps, via the team building process, or maybe do an outreach of people to hire, basically kind of like as employees, to help promote these products such as the Good RX, the RX program, and the healthcare side, and maybe a funding campaign as well, to outreach to businesses.
I would say this. I've never found that to be the case. Most people looking for jobs need now money. And anyone who needs now money would have a hard time following this game plan. Um, it would start leaning into, I need to focus on funding. This other stuff can wait. I need to focus on funding. Some would. And I've just found personal relationships, are the best. Like you came in through Indeed, that's great. I answered a newspaper ad, so people will answer ads. I wasn't looking for a job. I looked in the entrepreneur section. So if you could run an ad that says, looking, entrepreneurs seeking entrepreneur minded, you could do that, but I wouldn't spend money for it personally. You came in through Indeed, so you may feel it's a good way to do it. I can tell you, after seeing a lot of people for a lot of years, I wouldn't teach it. I'm not opposed to doing it. You could do it and do well. You could meet people through LinkedIn. You can meet people through Facebook Marketplace, or Facebook. But the easiest way is to look in your phone. Those are the people who know, like, and trust you already. And you just need 5 who want to build a business with you. Who wants to be my partner? If you were starting a Little Caesars restaurant tomorrow and you had to pick 5 people out of your phone, who do you want them to be? And I would tell them that. They posed me this question. I thought of you, and I'm calling you to find out if you might be open to checking this out. The answer is no, no problem. Remember it for the future and call someone else. You can run those job things. I'm not opposed to it. Craigslist, all those things. You can do it. Just be honest in your advertising. This is not a job. There's no salary. There's no W-2 income here. There's no guaranteed income. This is 100% commission. It's 100% business ownership, and it's 100% performance based. So as long as you can get those messages across, it can work. But I think you're going to find more success with the people already in your phone.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. That's good.
Yep.
But I did think about building a script to call on businesses for the funding and
Yeah.
healthcare options, for myself. And then maybe I could, if anybody that I bring onto the team, I could share that with.
Yeah, we've got
s-
a script in our funding training.
oh, really? Okay.
We've got scripts that have been proven to work, that convert.
Good.
So I would say
Where's
watch
that
the funding
located?
training.
Is
You
that the
watch the
hour-long
funding
video you
training
said?
near the end. Sorry, John.
Is that the hour-long video training you said for
Yeah.
the funding? It's the scripts
Yep.
involved in there?
Scripts are
Included in
all
there?
near the back end. So that's everything about
Okay.
the features, benefits, how to approach clients, who to approach, what to say, whether you're texting, phoning. And of course, the app has got scripts built into it too for emailing people and texting people. You can modify them, but those are the ones that are converted to work most. So I would use what's already there
Okay,
before you
will do.
teach your team. Before teaching a team, we encourage people prove something out. You may have a better idea than what's there. All of our best ideas come from the field. People try things that work. So we go, what are you doing? And then we modify something and tweak. So, or I'll come up with something that works, or someone. So if you have ideas, try them. I'm not saying don't try them, but start with what we've got, tweak them to your liking. And then if it's working real well, then you could tell us what you're doing, but also teach your team at that point because you've proven it out. But we'll have people come in and start training their entire team how to create podcasts that pull people, and they've never done it. And they just want to sell a podcast program or promote a podcast program because they think it's going to be great. Well, until it works and is proven to be great, we don't teach it. Everything we teach, we know works and works great.
Okay, sounds good. And
All right.
do all the funding deals go through Bank Breezy for the applications?
Yeah. Well, they all eventually end up at Bank Breezy. So if someone starts at our website for David Allen Capital and they start an application and they're doing under 15,000 or they have a personal bank account, they go to Giggle, our small revenue partner, Giggle Finance. If they're doing over 15,000, they go to Bank Breezy and Bank Breezy takes them from there. So some go
Okay.
to Giggle for instant funding, but most go to Bank Breezy.
And so as far as the health sharing group plan goes, what's the average range cost per month for that?
Oh boy, it really depends on age band, how old you are, how many people in your family, what plan you go with. It's real difficult to give an average. I
But
will
y'all
say
say
this,
it's
it's an average
savings,
saving of 60% off of insurance.
and it kind of is the same thing as health insurance, just a
It
little bit
works.
different.
To me, I'd say it works the same. It's kind of like a credit union versus a bank. They both have savings accounts. They both have checking accounts. They both do car loans. They both do mortgages. Credit unions just approve more. And credit unions have a membership fee. They're member run, but they approve more and they give lower rates and they have higher savings accounts rates. I don't know why. Banks have different regulations, different whatever. They perform the same functions, but credit unions outperform banks. Not sure why. And so
Mhm.
they're all FDIC insured. Same thing with this. They're member owned sharing businesses where all the members' premiums, it's actually not called premium, all the members' monthly sharing contribution, which is like a premium, goes into a pool and that they're more efficient than insurance companies. So they can cover the same lower deductible at a lower monthly cost. And it's just, they continue to prove it nationwide.
And there's options for basically the same as far as like, getting, coverage for surgeries or anything
Everything.
else.
Yeah.
Cool.
The only limitation they have is pre-existing conditions. So if someone has a pre-existing condition, they're already diabetic or they're already having heart problems, they need a surgery already. The Affordable Care Act said a few years ago they must be accepted into insurance. They don't have to be accepted into health share. So they'll get accepted, but they'll have limitations on what can be covered for year one, year two, year three, year four, et cetera.
Hmm.
So
But
that's the
all we do is refer them out, and then the licensed professionals take them through the step-by-step process to get signed up.
you got it. You
And
got it.
that's
Now
through Clearwater.
that's through Clearwater. Yep.
And
And Clearwater, excuse me, Clearwater does it. And I'll just tell you in the back end, we're working on Health Breezy, different stuff for healthcare in addition to what we've already got. So hang tight. 2025, I think, is gonna be eye-opening and some other services too. But it
and
will never
just
change. 1, 2, 3, repeat. 1, 2, 3,
right.
repeat. Same process.
And so last question, when we're signing up the employers for the health sharing, to offer them to their employees, are we getting paid based on the individuals that sign up after offering it to the business? Or are we getting signed up for the business when they sign up? How does that exactly work?
You generally what happens is the business will either do list billing and they'll pay for their 50 employees, or they'll offer it to their employees and the employees all pay individually, but you get paid per member per month. So if there's one family who's on, doesn't matter if the employer is paying for it or the employee themselves, you get paid off that one family. Another family, so if there's 30 families who sign up, you're going to have 30 times 40, you're going to have 1,200 residual revenue on that, and you're going to be making your percentage of that 40%, I think it is. So you'd be making about $500 a month on that company.
So the company has to sign up, they have to pay for it to offer to their employees.
No, maybe I wasn't clear. I'm sorry. Sometimes the company will pay for it. It's called list bill. Other times they just offer it, but the employees pay for it.
Oh, so we can just offer that, basically that resource from sharing that link to the business, and they can go from there. And
Yeah.
then
So the
when they
business will
sign up,
say,
they'll
the
know that
business
it's
may
from
say,
us.
I don't provide health insurance. No problem. Do you offer a program for people to take part of their paycheck and pay for it? Yes. Okay, great. So you just refer them, you tell them you can take care of their employees. What you get paid is on the families. It doesn't matter if the employer is paying for it or the employee. You don't have to bother with that. ClearShare does all that for you.
Oh, cool. So that's
Yep.
the option. The employer can pay for their employees, or the individual employees can sign up. So it's just however, but when we present the opportunity to the business, they're going to be given the information on how to go about it through the professionals
Yep.
on the other side.
Yep. And just so you
Cool.
know, in the industry, it's called list billing. List billing
List
just
billing.
means the employer sends a list to the healthcare company of all their employees they want to cover, and then they pay for that list of billed clients, or they don't do list billing and each person signed up individually and the employee pays for it. So, but you don't need to worry about that, and you get paid per family regardless of who's paying for it.
Okay, cool. Thank
All right.
you.
Hey, great questions, Jonathan. Glad to have you. And I'm glad we found you through Indeed. And, let's keep getting yourself trained, go through the welcome letter, read it over and over and over again, and then get right here. Step one, get yourself to 50 residual revenue, and then get yourself to team trainer, and then get yourself to 200. Pick the products you want to go with. The pharmacy is obviously the easiest and most attractive. All right. Thank you very much. Let's go to Harlequin Murray. How you doing, Harlequin?
I'm doing fabulous, David. You're definitely
Good.
on a roll.
We
Um,
rolling
yep,
like 5.0.
absolutely. A couple of things that Joe Parsons was talking about and some tips and ideas for him on the quarterly event that he does where they go and raise money. That would be an awesome time to do the pharmacy, do a fundraiser for a particular nonprofit, and sign them up.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was also asking about trade shows, and I have been involved in trade shows for several years. Um, I typically find that it's not worth it to sign up for a booth, that I do much better if I walk around and talk to the people at the booths, because that's usually going to be your better option for clients. A lot of times, because those are the businesses. But some of those, unless you can get a booth for a very reasonable price, it's not always worth it. If you're paying, maybe at most I would pay $100, but I know I live in the Atlanta market, and a lot of times they're $1,000, $2,000 for a booth. And unless your business is already generating that much revenue, it doesn't make sense to put that money out until you're making that much. But
Good points.
the other thing is he commented about not seeing a lot of advertising for David Allen Capital. And I would highly recommend for him and also for Jonathan, if he's wanting to do advertising, to make sure that they watch or look at the marketing requirements or the regulations that we have, because we're not supposed to be putting David Allen Capital in our advertising unless we get prior approval on that ad from the company.
Good stuff, Harlequin. Thank you very much for sharing all that, because I didn't mention that, and that's very critical.
Yeah.
Very
And
good. Thank you, Harlequin.
the other thing is for Jonathan to take a look at, do a search on LinkedIn for people that for entrepreneurs.
Good way to meet some people. Yep.
Yeah.
I would just say this. Um, I'm not gonna discourage anything. I'm just telling you, I've made several millions of dollars in this industry from the phone book right here, not the phone book out there. So you may find some people out there. I answered an ad, so I know ads work, but just know that, your warm market is where your millions of dollars is going to come from generally. Even if you think you've already burnt your warm market, I'm going back and looking at my phone and saying, hey, you want to go build 1 million pharmacy customers with me and make $250,000 a month? That's what I'm doing. You want to run now or no? And I'm calling people I've worked with 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and they either want to or don't. Most don't. That's all right. 5 of them will. And those 5 will go for it. All right, Christopher Sanchez, what else you got?
Hey, David, what is the youngest age someone can join DAC?
Legally 18. If they're under 18, they need a guardian permission. So, and they'd have
Awesome.
to join through the support department. So you'd have to email support and say, hey, I've got someone who's under 18 wants to join. And then the support department can manually enter them for them. with permission.
It's a group of entrepreneurs over in Algonac that I ran into, young kids.
You know what? I told my daughter who's going out to Grand Canyon University, she better open that campus or I am. College is where it's at. And that goes for anyone else listening right now. If you live in a college town, we're coming. I'd rather you go there and me support you than go there and you watch it. If you live in a town, Elginak, get them, Christopher, help them, support them. They need an entrepreneur thing like this. They don't know what some of these other companies, the route they're going to be steered down. They don't know how hard it is to get a customer on a protein shake when Amazon and Costco have them at half the price or same price with free shipping and no headaches. They don't know how hard that is compared to a $20 pharmacy plan or a business funding or a payment processing savings or a healthcare savings. My family is saving $7,000 a year on my healthcare. Can you touch that at Amazon? No. Can you touch that with this meal replacement or that meal replacement? Not going to touch it. There's all kinds of great meal replacements. I can get one at Walmart. I can get one at GNC. I can get one at Amazon, or I can get one from my friend who owns a network marketing business. They're all great, but I'm not going to pay 80 if I can pay 20. And I'm going to go pay 20 for my pharmacy membership if I'm paying 40 right now. We've got disruptive services that are breaking people's banks in a positive way, not negative way, and it's driving great income. So tell a 19-year-old, tell a 20-year-old, get those. I know entrepreneurs who are getting after, man, if I would, someone show me this business when I was at Michigan, I was selling t-shirts. I was creating discount cards to get to the front of the line at the bar and making good money. But it was never repeatable, man. I would have jumped all over this in a heartbeat and had a team of 8,000 people by the time I got out of college. I would have never taken that job at General Motors had someone put this in my lap. So there's hungry people out there right now in every college town. The best ad I ever ran was USC student, no jobs waiting for you. Those are my two bold headlines. Call me. I'm opening up your college town and we're looking for some entrepreneurial minded people who maybe school's not your thing. Man, did that fill up the phone calls. So copy that. It's recorded. Go for it. Find people who aren't looking for that 9 to 5 and aren't getting a 9 to 5 when they graduate because there's 30,000 kids graduating and their GPA is just normal. And they're either going to go through a friend and family to get a deal or hopefully find something at a job fair. But that's the world that we live in. And we're here to help save that world. So thanks for mentioning the young kids. You got me fired up. I'm excited about that. The number one money earner I ever recruited was 19, playing college baseball at a junior college. And he was like, what am I going to do? I'm not making it into the major leagues. And he was serving at a table, waiting restaurants. And he's gone on and made more than anyone I've ever recruited. He was 19 at the time. By the time he was 30, I think he made about 15 million bucks. So I believe in the youth. I believe in the elderly. I believe in anyone who's hungry. A lot of youth are just more hungry. All right, Ellen's back. What do you got, Ellen?
Hey, David, I was looking in the camera and I saw this big white blob behind me and I'm going, what the heck is that? I forgot to show everybody. I got my trifold brochures in today. I ordered 2,500 of these from our Vista Print store and I am ready to rock it. I've got a
show them.
Yeah.
Show them.
They're and I did the higher quality, so this is really a nice
Put them up higher so we can see them.
heavy brochure. Look, I got whole stacks of them.
Put them right in front of the camera so we can see them.
Right there. I don't know. I've got too much glare probably.
There you go.
Good stuff. Yeah, these are in the Vistaprint store, but I've got a table at an upcoming health fair that's going to be hosted at our local hospital. And I think we're going to get a lot of traffic there, but I've got to get a banner to go behind the table to really create some visibility. And then I'm going to be out there working it and make sure that everybody that comes through gets one of these. And I'm going to have a sign-up sheet to get their information, to follow up. And I'm also going to have my computer there. So if they want to look up their drugs while they're with me, they'll be able to do that or have a printout of the PDF of our formulary. But I'm ready to rock this and ready to do it. Let's go.
Love it. Being an example. Rock on. And there you go. There's a person doing a trade show right there, giving it a whirl. Any other questions or comments from anybody? Okay. Oh, Jonathan's got his hand up one more time. What do you got, Jonathan?
Yes, I just had one more question. As far as the team building goes, I saw in the a back office there's a section where you can kind of see who's all in your business and everything. Is that tree, that business tree, able to be rearranged of some sort, or is it just kind of all by default whenever you sign people up?
When you sign them up, you're their enroller. When they sign people up, they're the enroller. They'd be on your second level. But we do have something called enroller place, where you can place someone you personally enrolled somewhere else. But it's a manual process. It's not an automated process right now. And you can only enroll them place them for a certain period of time. So you can adjust the people you personally moved or personally enrolled and move them around. But you can't move any of the other people down in your team. We don't allow anyone to switch positions or anything like that. And you can learn about that in the policies and procedures book. If you go to the policies and procedures, I don't know what page that's on, but it's in that book. Thank you. Oh, these thumbs down stuff. Anyone else have a question or comment about anything before we end tonight? All right, who's going to do 1, 2, 3? Give a comment, give a thumbs up, give a clan clap, put in the comments, I'm in, 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 I'm in. Go to the comments, type I'm in, 1, 2, 3, repeat, just say I'm in, I'm in, I'm in. Give some thumbs up, go make it happen, get the chat going. Where's the chat? I'm looking for the chat. I don't know where the chat is. Who's in? I want to see who's in. I know there's not too many people here right now, but Don, I'm in. Beautiful, beautiful. Who else? Show me, show me, show me, show me, show me. I'm looking right here. Want to see who's here. The people still paying attention. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Hey, that's over 20% of the people that are in here, 30% of the people that are in the room right now, 40% of the people in the room right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, you don't get to share right now. There's more people on YouTube than here. Come to the Zoom so you can participate. And we know there's going to have probably 800 to 1,000 watch this over the next week on YouTube. Come out live so we can engage. I'd love to hear who you are, talk to you. But this is what we're doing right here, baby. Let's get it on. Let's get it done. Go get yourself qualified. Handle this right away. Handle this secondly. Handle this third. Repeat and get amp stand. God bless you all. Approach, approach, approach. You got this. I appreciate you all. We're going to do it, maybe. 1 million customers in your team. 1 million pharmaceutical customers in your team. 1 million pharmaceutical customers in your team. It's 10 million residual revenue. 2 million in base commissions. At 25% to you is 500,000 a month. If that's too high, then lower the numbers. But if it's not too high, go get it. Million. I'm going for it. I want to get paid on 1 million customers in my team, don't you? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And you should too. It's a happy